Greetings from the beach hut. I am here with my pigtails. I was doing a beach walk earlier and just came and threw my hair into pigtails, but I wanted to jump on and say a couple of things. This video is going to be about my makeup diet, and I'll explain a little bit more about that title in a bit. But first, I just wanted to thank you all for all of your lovely, warm welcomes back. It can be hard to come back after such a long absence because I felt a little bit like the prodigal daughter. I just wasn't certain whether there would be anybody from before, from YouTube before. But I was delighted and thrilled and warmed, and I just can't say enough positive things about all your comments. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, on to the topic for today. So, I wanted to talk about my makeup diet. I wanted to talk about this sooner rather than later because it explains why I'm not 100% natural. I would love to be 100% natural. I would love to be 100% cruelty-free. I'm not there. I'm, on a journey. I'm glad to be where I am. I'd say I'm about 80%. And that's about where I left it when I left off. I've never been 100% natural, but certainly I started this channel when I started going natural. And at the beginning, I can remember using a lot of greenwash products because I didn't even know enough to discern ingredient lists. And I found out very early on there's just no substitute for reading ingredients. You just have to read ingredients. And you get into subtleties of this product and that product. And of course, we all know that just because something's natural doesn't mean it's good for you. Arsenic is natural, right? So a makeup diet. I thought the word diet was a good one for me because I am horrible with a diet. I can't do a diet, mainly because I can't deal with deprivation. Somebody says to me, you need to go on a diet. It's the surest way I'll gain weight. I just can't help myself. I'll start to think, well, I'll never eat that again, and then I have to have a lot of that. Diet for me is not a good word, but the word, say, nutritional program, or if I can think about a diet as a way of a lifestyle, as a way of eating better, of making myself healthier. And I think the same is true for me with makeup. With makeup, if somebody says, no, 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 you can never have that, you can never buy that, you can never try that, you can never wear that, that's the fastest way that I'll end up with a lot of products that, probably aren't products I would have selected otherwise. All of that rambling was supposed to fit under the one point, which was I don't do deprivation. If you deprive me, I'm going to get more. If you tell me I can't have it, I want more. That's an important thing to know about myself, and to know that when I go into a store, never to say, you can't have anything, you can't have it, you can't have it, but instead to say, you can have it in little bits. That's number one. Number two, I do have something called a rainy day kit. And in my rainy day kit, or box, or bag, or stash, or whatever word you want to use, kit sounds so professional, but do keep product that I would say is rainy day product. It's product that I've said, you know what? I'm suspending all the rules. I'm going to go ahead and get that. Whatever it is, I'm going to get it. And sometimes that ends up being an okay purchase for me, and sometimes it doesn't. And I'll give you an example. But the rainy day kit allows me, the rainy day product allows me not to have that feeling of deprivation. I use it, I just use it less often. That's all. So sometimes it's a product I fall in love with, and then I definitely keep it there. For example, I have this Kat Von D Esperanza eyeshadow palette. It is the only eyeshadow palette in my whole collection that I think is perfect. I do travel with it a lot. It is how it kind of fits into my collection. Is I tend to grab it when I travel. I also grab samples when I travel. That's the fun of keeping samples around. I can kind of grab those, and they're really small and thin to travel with. But here it is. And these are all colors I love and I adore and I use and just love it. So do I use this every day? No, not at all. I use other things every day, but I pull this out every once in a while. Oldie but goodie, like it. So glad it's in my rainy day kit. Is it a natural product? No, it just isn't. Now here's an example of something I got in my rainy day kit that is going to be going out of my rainy day kit, I'm almost certain, and that is the modern Renaissance. And I know everybody talks about this and loves this, and so many people on YouTube, especially when I was looking at palette declutters, would say, this is my favorite. This is the best thing ever. I would never get rid of it. It's my number one of all times. It's my very favorite. And so I bought it. And I thought, okay, I'm not going to be deprived. I'm going to have it. And now I'm kind of the opinion of Miss Kristen 321. She says it's really pretty to look at, but I don't like it on me. And that is what has been the case for me. I've tried it. I've done looks out of it. I love Juan Fresco. I like Venetian Red. I love Love Letter. So there's 1, 2, 3 shades that I really love in here. And the rest of them, not so much. When I'm done with them, I feel like I look a little on the sick side. I'm not sure what it is, but they don't match up with me. I've tried more recently kind of pulling it out again and trying, and sometimes I'll mix it in with other things just to see if I can get it to work. But the main thing about my rainy day kit is that I use it only on occasion. I use it for special products. I use it for stuff that I love or really, really like. And unfortunately, this just isn't falling into that category. So I think it's going to find a home elsewhere. I usually take this product out to the barn. There's lots of young women out there who love makeup. I had the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette for a while. By about a while, I mean 3 weeks maybe. And I used that a couple of times, and I realized I'm bored. It wasn't the quality of the shadows. It wasn't the color selection. It was just like, uh-oh, I'm bored. These aren't colors I would reach for a lot. So I gave that to my son's girlfriend because that's a palette that she would use. It's something that I thought she would enjoy. One of the really interesting things about coming back to YouTube after being off for a while is that when I left YouTube, it was all about the haul, and you would watch people bring in all this product. And now I see the declutters, which I love watching. I see people throwing away product or getting rid of product with the same sort of enthusiasm with which they acquired the product. It's almost like a purge or a binge, kind of dynamic. So I'm not so sure what I think about it, except for that it's entertaining to watch. I'm really taken more with the kind of makeup basket of the week, the Shop My Stash. I love watching people go through products that they own or products that they've recently acquired, and you can really see them falling in love with it. Ooh, I really want to use this. I really want to try this. Ooh, I haven't tried this in a while. Let me go back to that and see how that is. Many people use the Shop My Stash or the makeup basket of the week as a way of going through their product, making sure that they're using it, but also getting rid of something that they're not using. And that is something that I do on a regular basis. I get rid of things that I'm not using, that I don't like. I just go, okay, those are going out. Along those lines, I would say that preservatives are not something that you want or need a lot of. They are a convenience of modern life. We like preservatives because they make things last longer. Basically, something that is fresh is better. And I think the same is true for your skin, that the more preservatives you're using on your skin, probably not the best idea. When I'm looking for products, I'm looking for products that are using natural sourced ingredients whenever possible, and that it have as few or as benign preservatives as possible, or no preservatives. If I can get a product that doesn't need a preservative, a dry cleanser, for example, all the better. I want to be mostly natural. I want to be mostly mindful. I want to make mostly sure that this huge thing called my skin, which is a part of my body, an organ on my body, if you will, is getting the nutrition it needs, and that it's getting products that are good for that for it. For example, let's compare it to food. A potato chip isn't going to kill me, right? I can eat a potato chip. It's not going to kill me. But let's say I ate only potato chips, and I ate bags and bags full of them all day. After a month, my guess is I would not be particularly healthy. After a year, I would venture to say that I was suffering severe nutritional defects. And I feel like the same is true of my skin. I'll do an updated skincare at some point, but for right now, I just wanted to kind of cover some principles, like what am I looking for? And number 4, it's a lifestyle. It's something that you just do every day. If you do a diet once a week and you go, today I'm going to be super good, I'm only going to eat the fruits and vegetables that I need, and I'm going to get my protein, I'm going to do 6 days a week, I'm going to go crazy and have cupcakes and potato chips and candy and jelly beans and all these different things, it's not going to work out. You have to kind of flip that, right? You have to mostly be sensible, and then every once in a while have your little wild moments. Just something you have to commit to, like exercise. If you're going to exercise once every 6 months, you're not going to reap the benefits. So these are just those things that you need to do regularly, and then keep room for pleasures. Make sure you've got your simple pleasures. So in terms of my makeup diet, I guess, if you can call it, I want to make 4 points because I've just been all over the map. But I guess I haven't gotten organized yet. I can tell it's summer. I'm like going to the beach, I'm gardening, I'm, just not thinking about lesson plans and schooling and doing things in an organized fashion. I seem to be like, pow, oh, there goes a thought. There it is, somewhere over there. Got to bring myself down. The 4 points are these. Number one, I don't do deprivation. Just psychologically makes me go in the opposite direction. I don't deny myself. I don't say, oh no, you do natural. You're not allowed to have anything that's not natural. I just have a small little section where I put that. And then for the most part, I try to be natural. My skincare, I would say, is probably 95% natural, if not 100% natural, because I've found products that work, and I'm not going to go back to all of those water-based preserves products because they make my skin look worse. So that's easy. Actually, skincare has been super duper easy in terms of going natural because I like all the products better. I like what they do for my skin. I would like the way they leave my skin. They make it look. That part has been easy. The makeup, I have to say, has been not difficult because there's so much that I like. But just it's mostly that I'll see things. I'm like a crow. I see those shiny colors. I see all those beautiful things that people are talking about. Again, if I told myself, no, you can't have that, you're never going to get it again in your life, I would just go out and buy out Sephora tomorrow. I'd be going crazy. But if I go in and say, choose carefully, get something that you really, really, really want, and use it on occasion, I'm much, much better with that. Number two, little pleasures. Just allow myself little pleasures. Allow myself to be a bad girl every once in a while. Allow myself a little tiny cupcake. Basically suspend all the rules. Don't make that my everyday nutritional habit. Don't make that what I'm eating on a regular basis. But every once in a while, just allow myself a little wildness. Number three, either avoid entirely or be careful about the preservatives I'm using. Avoid them when possible, but not always possible. Choose carefully, even though people say, well, it's safe for you, it's safe for you, it's safe for you. Potato chips are safe for you, right? All sorts of things are safe for you in little bitty amounts, but when you're putting it everywhere, I think about phenoxyethanol that's in everything now, and I've never liked phenoxyethanol, and people will go, well, it's safe, it's an irritant, but it's safe, and you're only using the tiniest amounts, and it's safe, and I'm like, yeah, potato chips are safe. I just kind of keep reminding myself, okay, if it's in my shampoo, if it's in my eyebrow product, if it's in my skincare product, if it's in my makeup base product, if it's in my blush, if it's in my eyeshadows, if it's in my lipsticks where I'm ingesting it, if it's in my body lotions and I'm putting this stuff on every day, it is no longer in little amounts. I've gone from having one potato chip to bags full of potato chips. So preservatives in general, I'm not going to go for. I'm going to try and be very, very mindful of preservatives. That is it for my makeup diet. But I wanted to say one other thing, which is that my husband calls me the contrary indicator. And I think sometimes he's right. And the reason he calls me that is that I have a horrible sense of direction. So if we're driving anywhere and I say turn right, he knows he should probably turn left. Every once in a while he turns right, he follows me, we're lost, and he goes, dang, I knew I shouldn't have listened to you. You're a contrary indicator. And when it comes to geographical directions, I absolutely am. And sometimes I think when it comes to makeup, I am too, because I look at this modern Renaissance palette and I look at all these warm shades, and people are going crazy on warm shades. And I am all about the pastels. I cannot get enough of pastels. It started in February or March, and every time I grab for pastel shades and pastel looks, I'm loving the eye looks I'm doing. I'm just loving my makeup. I just get done and go, wow, so enjoying it. I went back and every week I pull shadows of the week, and I can't stop pulling pastels. I just cannot stop pulling pastels. This week, for example, I went with this shade by Pumpkin and Poppy. It is called Moor, and this has been one of my favorite kinds of colors. This, like, I don't know, it's a seafoam green, I guess you would call it, but mint greens, icy greens, green blues, and I am loving those. I have this other little Farinay sample, Winter Again. It is the palest, palest, palest of blues. It's got a lot of sheen. That one is just delighting me. This is from Purinata. This is a good crease color for me because while it looks crazy as heck, it actually blends out quite nicely to be a nice pastel. It has a lot of pinks in it as well, so that's really pretty. And then I'm using Silk Naturals Siobhan, and it looks like this, but you get it. It's purple again. And there it is. You can kind of see it's got to do a crown property. Those are the pigments I've been playing with this week, having a lot of fun with those. The week before, I was all about pink, 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 pink. I was doing all sorts of stuff with pinks and just having a blast. So I am a contrary indicator. While the rest of the world is doing reds and oranges and warms and those kind of colors, I am into pastels, and I can't stop. I think it might partly be age. I think as I'm aging, pastels are a way for me to still play with color, but I'm having a harder and harder time wearing like really, really vibrant things on the lid, and the pastels just work out a little bit better. So it could be an age thing, or it could just be that I am a contrary indicator. We'll go with whichever of those you want. That's it for this video. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you all so very, very much for your warm welcome back. I can't even tell you how much it touched me and how much I appreciated it. It's been hard to get myself to come back. I kept thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it, and I went through a period where I felt like I just don't feel like I have anything to contribute or say. And then, of course, I was spending a lot of time in poetry land and in horse land, and I had a lot to learn about the horses, and a lot of my discretionary income was buying things like saddles and bridles. Now I've kind of got the basics for that, so I have a little bit more play money, I guess you could say again. The bottom line is, when I get notifications and so many lovely warm messages from you all, I'm just like, oh my gosh, these people are the best. They are just the best. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for watching. Bye.